than just talking to each other. But oh, hey.
We're up live.
Welcome into Facebook Live, everyone. Matt Gashk here with Yura Movsisyan down in Tucson, Arizona. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And a lot of questions we have for Yura. We'll start, Yura. How's the first 12 days of training camp gone for you?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, we got the tough ones out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful. Feels great to be done with it now and to be playing. And no more 2 days. Yay.
Mm-hmm. What's preseason like in Russia?
A lot of running.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of 2 days, a lot of running. I would say.
Where do you guys go? Do you stay there?
No, we usually, our team usually goes to Marbella in Spain,
Mm-hmm.
and then to Abu Dhabi,
Okay.
and then maybe possibly back to Marbella,
So real exotic locations like Casa Grande, kind of.
Yeah, Casa
Pretty
Grande
similar.
is just a different level,
Yeah.
man. You can't compare Dubai to Casa Grande. Come
Yeah.
on. Dubai's got a long ways to go.
Yeah. But at least you got something to strive for.
Yeah.
You're now full-time with Real Salt Lake, no more loans. You know kind of what the future holds for you. What did this off-season feel different for you that way?
Oh, man, this was probably the best off-season I've had in many years.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to be going into off-season, to know where I'm going to be,
Mm-hmm.
to know that I'm going back to a place where I've got a lot of passion for. This was the best off-season for me, as a
Mm-hmm.
pro, hands down. So
Where's that passion come from? Where the passion for Salt Lake City and Real Salt Lake?
winning it on 09.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. We won it. It was probably the best football memory, soccer memory I have.
Mm-hmm.
And going back and thinking about it and what I felt, I
Mhm.
want that again.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. I want that again.
When you come back to Utah after that, what was that feeling like?
To come back to Utah, it was great. I felt like I was home, and
Mm-hmm.
to me, it was just a great feeling.
We're going to answer some of your questions. Go ahead and throw them down in the comment section below, and we'll get to some of those over here to Yura. Just a few more questions before we get to the fans out there who have got already several questions.
Wow.
So a lot of compliments too. They love you out there in Facebook
Love
land.
you guys
So
too. Love everybody, all the fans, all the people that have supported me. A lot of people say that.
Mhm.
A lot of athletes say that, but I'm sure not many of them mean it, and they try to be.
Right.
They try to get people to like them.
Mhm.
I actually mean it, and I've gone through tough times as a pro. I'm, being back in Russia and being injured, and especially right now, the past year and a half with the national team, it's been pretty tough. But I have the best fans in the world, man. I have the best support in the world, and I have the people that are. They support you no matter what, no matter if you're on top or if you're having a difficult time. So nothing better.
when we went to LA last year, there was it was Armenian Heritage Night, for crying out loud. Big night.
Half of Armenia was at the stadium.
When we go to Irvine again this year, it's going to be another great opportunity. I'm not sure everything's been kind of formally announced yet, but why is that? To explain to the fans why that's going to be a big trip for you personally.
Well, Irvine, I could tell you one thing. Irvine is going to be special, and I know that the club will make an announcement soon.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to play the champions of Armenia in Irvine.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's special because I get to play with guys that I played on the national team with.
Mm-hmm.
And to have an Armenia team come over, and for me to be able to play against them with my club,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be special. And it's going to be, I believe it's February 24th
Mm-hmm.
in Irvine. I hope people don't get lazy to drive out there,
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to be a special night. That's going to be our last game, I believe,
Right.
before season starts. We're going to be all ready for it, and I know that the team, coming from Armenia, is super excited.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably going to be one of the biggest games for them. To be playing in America, to be playing against my team. So get out there, people. Come on, don't get lazy.
Yeah. We'll have more details, more information about that in the coming days and weeks, but definitely circle that on your calendar, February 24th. If you're in California, or if you just need an excuse to get out to California and watch a Real Salt Lake game.
Fly Alaskan Air, cheap. Just kidding.
Here's one that maybe isn't exactly on point, but what can we expect from you this coming season? And then maybe in addition, what have you seen in Albert in terms of filling that number 10 role?
Well, what you're going to expect from me this season is I'm going to score goals. We're going to win games. Yeah, you know, as a forward, you're always confident. And if you don't have the confidence, you shouldn't play. You know, I know that last year coming back, you know, I wanted to score a lot more and didn't get to. Maybe didn't get lucky, you know, missed a few, hit the post a few times. But what you're going to get from me this year is you're going to get me 1,000% playing for this club. And, you know, you're going to get me to just give everything I have, because this is the time for me to enjoy it. And I'm happier than ever to be back. And when people are happy, they do their job as well. And planning on that.
How much, here's one that's a loaded question. How much better is Real Salt Lake this year?
Oh, I would say we're probably...
It's a younger group. And
younger group, a lot more legs to run. We have, this year, we have more, we have a bigger goal. Simple as that. Last year was like, okay, let's get the team together. Let's see what's going to happen, you know. Guys, we had a big turn, you know, we had a lot of guys leave. You know, obviously everybody knows Javi left, and for Javi it was difficult. And I understand for fans too, it was difficult. He was a big part of this club. But now, you know, Rusnak is in, Luis is in. You know, this is the time for the younger guys to step up, to make a name for themselves. And the only way you can make a name for yourself is to actually play and prove. That's what Javi did. That's why he was a big player at this club. And you know, knowing Albert and Luis, having talked to them and just seeing the way they train and their attitude, I know we're gonna have a lot of fun this year. We're gonna have a lot of success this year, because now we've got a group that is gonna run more than any other team out there.
When you came to this team, you were a young buck.
Yeah.
When you look around the locker room now, and you see Jordan Allen, and you see Jose Hernandez, and you see Albert, and you see this young crop of players, does it remind you at all of that team in 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009, those young guys that kind of all came in at the same time and kind of developed into the core that ended up being the championship team?
Yeah. You know, when obviously I'm a bit older now. I'm one of the older guys on the team, which is strange feeling. I know we never want to admit it, but it's true.
Yeah.
But it's great, because I went through, you know, being the young guy and being the little crazy, you know, Armenian running around there, and now I get to see the younger guys develop, and we get to see that every day, which you know, I feel very fortunate about. But at the same time, you know, when I was growing up, I had a lot of passion. I had one goal, and I wanted to play. I wanted to, you know, I wouldn't take a no for an answer. I wouldn't take a, you know, oh, you have to sit on the bench. I wouldn't take that well, which I think that's the way it should be with our younger players, where they need to have higher goals, and not just because they're playing for a professional team like Real Salt Lake, a successful team. Just because they're playing, it doesn't mean that they've made it. You know, they have to be challenging every single player on the field. Doesn't matter if you're a rookie, if you're second year, third year. You know, somebody like Jordan, he has to step up this year. We need to get him to be a vital player for us, a big player, because, you know, if you guys remember back in 2009, everybody was committed. Everybody contributed. We had everybody scoring that year, you know. We had center back scoring. We had everybody, other than Nick, probably everybody else scored, you know, and then obviously Nick makes all the important saves that you need to. you need to win a championship. So I think this year is going to be a year for everybody to grow and to step it up. Enough talking, let's do the work.
When you talk about Jordan Allen, he scored the goal in the preseason game on, what day was that, Tuesday? They all run together now.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you see in him that have you convinced that he's ready for that role?
And I told this to Jordan, it's yours to lose.
Mm-hmm.
The spot is yours to lose. That's my opinion, because I believe he has the ability to be a starter on this team. And, sometimes it's difficult for a young player to actually believe that he's going to be a starter. And I had the same, we go through the same situations and the same problems. Sometimes you start doubting yourself, am I a starter? But the only thing he needs to do is put his head down and work hard, which he has been done amazingly. And all the players have done a great job. Just put their heads down, and when we go to work, we're at work. There's no time to play around. Simple. And he's done that, in a very, very nice way. Just like other guys, and I believe that Jordan is going to have a big year, just like everybody else on the team. But especially Jordan, I think this is going to be his breakout year. Knock on wood. Come on, Jordan.
Yeah. No pressure.
No pressure.
We're going to get back to some soccer questions here in a minute, but I wanted to ask you some fashion questions.
I know where this is going.
You do?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. Well, I want to know where you get your fashion sense from. And how a guy like me could acquire something like that.
Fashion. Well, obviously when you live the lifestyle that I've lived, and been fortunate enough to have been successful, you want to enjoy it. And I'm a person that, for my joy, I will spend all the money I want. To remember, you got to look good to play good.
Yeah.
You got to live good to play good.
Yeah.
You got to take care of your body. You got to you got to be confident, especially for a striker. I think that your looks, or the car you drive, or the watch you have, or the clothes you wear is big part of who you are as a person and as a player. I know that we're probably the most confident players on the field, and there's a reason why we are, because that's our mentality. We get to deal with all the pressure of having to score all of our careers. So I think with fashion, I think what you should do, actually.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, you should come to my closet.
Okay.
I will pick out, or we should do a week of I pick out what you wear.
Okay.
And
but that's got to be out of my closet. That can't be out of your closet.
Yeah, I'll do a little bit of changing around your closet. I've got some clothes that are a bit bigger.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
You can fit.
Maybe I'll just start working on that. I'll work on the me part, and you work on the other part.
I'll do a week of free. What's it called? Styling you, dressing you.
All right.
And then we can see how you like it.
Okay.
And if I can turn that into a business later, guys, come on.
He'll dress fat
Think
guys.
about it after soccer.
See, I'm just trying to set you up for a career after this one.
Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking what I should do. Maybe I should become a stylist. But, I could start with you,
Yeah.
Turn you upside down and have you be the most stylish.
I'll start working with Henry first, and then I'll come to you.
Yeah. He's going to be upset, but he's going to scream a lot at you.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. I've been yelled at before.
Which is good.
Yeah.
No, when Henry yells,
yeah,
it's different. Like, you get the chills.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe it.
So
I believe it. Henry's our new strength and conditioning coach, or director of physical performance, I think. But
also, he was the best singer today at our player initiation.
Was.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. He loved it.
Yeah.
Which was the
what did he sing?
Scary part.
Stand by Me, right?
Yeah.
He was just telling me about
Stand by Me, and he actually enjoyed it more than I think any players ever enjoyed this. He did the dance, and he did surprise, man. I'm proud of him.
Oh, yeah. You can't keep a husky down.
Never.
But transitioning from that, the car thing. The last car I saw you in was unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Rolls.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? How did you end up with that? Tell the fans out there what you're driving.
Well, yeah.
If you can. If you don't want to.
No. I mean, you know, I have a lot of cars.
Yeah.
And my family has a lot of cars. We have a lot of drivers, and we like nice cars. Just like, you know, I like to treat myself, my family, my relatives. But, yeah, I have a Rolls Royce now, and the interesting thing is when I was back in Russia and when I re-signed for Spartak, I needed to treat myself. So I went out and got a Rolls Royce in Russia. And after a year, you know, I decided I wanted to come back. I had enough, and I had to sell the car, which I was very sad about because, you know, as you know, living the life that I've lived, my family's lived, there's not many things that you enjoy a lot anymore because, you know, it doesn't become interesting anymore when you can do anything you want. But you know, I love cars, and for me, I'm a speed guy, and you know, and I always say the car has to be faster than me to drive the car. You know, my cars have to be faster than me. So yeah, it doesn't take a Corolla, right?
Right.
To be faster. Smart car. No. Hey, trust me. I started with the 1987 Camry, so I've driven. You know, I started on the bottom, and I paid my.
Now where are you?
Well, I'm in the middle.
Oh, okay.
I just.
I thought you were going to say here, but
I'm here in Arizona right now. But no, I have. No, the cars. It's interesting because obviously. I got this Rolls Royce. Well, once I had to sell the car in Russia, I came back and I kept nagging to my dad. I was like, Dad, come on, like you got to get me the Rolls, you know, because I sold it. You know, we had to sell it, and we thought we were going to be able to bring it over, and we couldn't because of all this customs.
A lot of different regulations.
Regulations,
right?
You know, you got to change the whole car. And I said, okay. He said, yeah, we'll buy it, but later. Yeah. You know, my dad, he controls. Everything, all my finances, everything, you know, like I have to ask permission to buy something. So that's for, you know, something probably people don't know that, you know, every time I make a purchase, my dad calls me the next day. He's like, hey, what are you doing? How did you do yesterday? You know, just wants to get to, you know, what I spend the money on, you know, which is great, you know, that's why I still have a couple of dollars left. Because he controls it. But it was August 2nd. We were in Toronto, and my wife threw me a surprise birthday party, and we flew everybody out to Salt Lake, and, you know, she tried to reach out to everybody, and I apologize. I know you guys weren't given a notice, and my next birthday party, you guys will be the first people to get the notice. And, she felt pretty bad about it after I told her, listen, it's not just the players. You know, there's other, you know, our staff and stuff. But yeah, they surprised me with not just my birthday, surprise birthday party, but with the Rolls Royce my dad had. You know, and he had promised me like once I make the move and once I know where I'm going to be, we'll buy one. And that day, you know, not only if I had all my family and friends in Utah fly out, drive out, my closest people, just 30, 40 people there of my, you know, friends and family, and plus all the players and their wives, which is amazing. It was definitely a surprise for me. But at the same time, to top it off, they drove out the Rolls Royce. My dad drove out the Rolls Royce, and they gave me the keys.
Wow.
So that was pretty special for me.
And now you've got it wrapped.
Yeah, so this wrap.
That's unbelievable.
That is. So I've got this wrap that.
We'll have to put a picture of it in the comments or something. Can we do that?
Yeah. We could post it.
Yeah.
You know, I'll send you guys a picture. There's a beautiful picture next to the Icelink store, my watch store, that they took for their website, which is amazing. It has over 2,000 colors on it.
What's the kind of watch again?
Icelink.
Yeah.
Best watch in the world. Yeah, 6 time zones. It is the best, trust me. You never have to change times. Apple? No.
We're just trying to sell some products.
I know, right? Icelink. Shout out to Icelink. best watch company.
We don't do
in the
shout-outs,
business.
though. We do big ups.
I do it.
We do big ups.
Oh, big ups.
Yeah,
okay.
on this show.
Well, I'm gonna big up and shout out twice.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Perfect.
No, yeah, they drove out, and I just actually literally bought my wife a G-Wagon, a G63. I know she loved that car, and for Utah, for the snow, I had to drive through 2 snowstorms with summer tires,
Mm-hmm.
and it had no problems.
Really?
No problems at all, which, like I said, I love cars, and that's the only way. That's one of the few ways I treat myself
Mhm.
and my family, and all my family members have all, very nice cars.
Yeah.
And just bought my mom a Bentley. That was her dream car.
Yeah. What's yours? Is it the Royals?
Mine is the Rolls.
Yeah.
My wife's is the G-Wagon,
Yeah.
and then my dad.
Well,
has
like
my-
you, I'm driving a Kia Rondo, which is my dream
I used
car.
to have a Kia too.
Yeah, so
In Russia, I drove a
2009
Kia.
Kia Rondo.
I had a Kia, man. Listen, I paid my dues. You're still young, Matt. You
Yeah,
got
I'm
it.
still young.
You-
Yeah.
you could get it.
35 years young.
Yeah.
I'll get there someday. Let's get back to some of these questions on here.
You got a few questions. Huh?
What do you think of the new players? I mean, start with Albert. I mean, Albert comes here with some pretty high expectations.
Yeah.
What have you liked about him in the first few days that you've been able to train with him?
He's just a great person. First and foremost, this kid guy, I call him a kid. But
He's a kid. He's 22.
he's a kid,
Yeah.
This is a big move for him,
Mhm.
and I feel like we have to give him a space to kind of adapt to the league,
Mhm.
not adopt,
Yeah.
adapt to the league, and but you could tell he's got quality.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell the way he runs with the ball.
Mhm.
His first few steps, obviously, last couple of days have been very difficult for him because of the time change.
Right.
He went straight into, without doing all the fitness stuff or without catching up, he went straight to the games, which is
Mhm.
higher speed. So, but you could tell this kid has quality.
Mhm.
Simple as that. He's got, and he's 22 years old.
Mhm.
He's got so much, potential that if he can click in this league, he will definitely be one of the best number 10s in this league.
What's your favorite formation to play in? Nevin wants to know.
What's my favorite formation to play? My whole life I've played the only striker on top,
Mhm.
so 4-3-3. That's been my favorite formation. And it was funny. Me and Chad were, we're just talking about
Chad
it.
Barrett. Yeah.
Chad Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I never. I've always had competition, and I've never wanted to play with 2 strikers. But the crazy thing is that I feel like me and Chad could play two
Mhm.
strikers up top, which I would love to do that. But at the same time, obviously Jeff's got, he knows what to do.
Right.
He knows exactly what to do for the team, what's best for the team. And so I feel like this year's offensive line is probably better than last year's
Mhm.
because now we're more of a group. We're
Okay.
more of supporting each other. We don't have a starting player on the team.
Right.
We don't have a player that knows they're going to start. Obviously, the veterans, they know, but young players are pushing,
Mhm.
and I'm actually glad that Chad Barrett arrived because he's been pushing.
Mhm.
He will push me, I will push him, and that's the way we're going to make each other better. At the end of the day, that's going to make our team better.
How many different languages do you speak?
Ooh. Snagri Dansk, kann sprechen Deutsch, по-русски, Hungarian, Armenian,
Mhm.
and English.
Okay.
5. Well, I understand German, I understand Danish,
Mhm.
Russian, Armenian, English. I can, speak. Well, English and Armenian, I'm very fluent at it. Well, with an accent, I know you guys probably figured that one. But Russian, I'm pretty good at, and I would say I'm probably about 70%
Mhm.
in Russian. And in German, I understand. Danish, I'm starting to lose it a bit in Danish because I played there only for a year.
Yeah.
But I understand if somebody speaks next to me, I'll understand, but I won't tell them that I understand.
Mhm.
That is the trick.
I do that with Spanish sometimes. I don't
Spanish,
speak it
I know
really
the
well.
good
I
words,
understand.
like
oh,
the
yeah,
nice
yeah,
words.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
"Que paso?"
yeah.
Like,
The ones we had to edit out of some players' videos earlier.
yeah, the ones.
Those ones.
The beep.
Yeah. When you left Real Salt Lake, did you ever think you'd be back?
Yes. I left Real Salt Lake knowing I would be back.
Really?
Yeah.
Did that make that move easier for you?
Yeah, definitely. You know, when I left Salt Lake, I was on top of the world. I just won a championship in MLS. I couldn't have been in a better position to have stayed in MLS. But I'm always a player that I like to put myself in difficult situations, try to see if I'm good enough to get there, if I'm good enough to make it. And that's what I did, you know. I put myself in a position, in difficult positions, difficult situations, to try to see if I can grow as a player, if I can adapt myself, if I can make it. And that's the reason why I left MLS in 2009. It was to see if I can make it in Europe, just to prove to myself if I can make it or not. That was the only reason why I wanted to go. It wasn't the finances, because I was offered a good deal, you know, back in the day. For me, you know, as a young kid, which I think some players have it backwards now, younger kids, they think that they have to make the money right now. They think that just because they make the money, that's it, like they've made it. No, for me, it was the opposite. I wanted to make it. I wanted to play, and I knew that will come. You know, the finances, that comes if you're successful. That comes if we work hard enough. But I think the biggest reason was that I wanted to prove to myself, can I make it in Europe? And I think I got the answer.
Score in Russia.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good
I
answer
think I
for
did
you
pretty okay for myself. And you know, with all the success with Armenia, but ever since I left that first minute, I knew I was going to be back. I didn't know when. I wanted to come a couple years ago. I was pushing to come back because you know, I wanted to grow with this league. This was the league that gave me a chance. This was the league that, you know, gave me my opportunity coming out of high school. And this is the league I wanted to grow with. I mean, and obviously life here is different. And I have 3 kids now, so you know, it's beautiful for my kids to be enjoying it and actually having our own house, which you know, you don't get to when you're traveling and when you live in different countries.
What did playing in Russia teach you, and how did it change you as a player?
Made me more aggressive as a player.
Why is that?
My first team in Russia, when it was a brand new team, and when I played for Krasnodar, and which after that, you know, they have become one of the biggest clubs, best clubs in Russia by far right now. Krasnodar, you know, if you look at their stadium, they might have one of the best stadiums in the world right now. And I feel very proud of, you know, the owner, and you know, I'm still good friends with them, and I'm still in touch with them. But having played for Krasnodar, it was good because I got to play for a team that was fighting to be a mid-table team. It was fighting to
avoid relegation when you
fighting to avoid relegation. Simple, yeah. And then 2 years later, I moved.
How devastating would that have been for that club?
Definitely. I mean, that club existed a year before we went into the Premier League.
Right.
You know, they played 1 year in the first division, and then they went up. Yeah, it would have been devastating. It would have. I mean, I fought for relegation in Denmark too. I signed for a team that, you know, they were in the Europa League, and then 6 months later, once we won the championship, I left. They were 14, 13 points into relegation, fighting for your lives. You know, we went 15 games without losing, and we survived relegation. Which, that's the type of, you know, games you want to be part of. That's what makes you become mentally stronger. Is you don't give up in 90 minutes. It's 90 plus minutes, and you know, obviously going from Krasnodar to Spartak, you get to play for the biggest club in Russia, and you get to you have the best fans in the country. Everywhere you go, you play at home, because we always had 15,000, 20,000 fans every away games. You know, and then stadium opening up, the biggest club in Russia. You're playing for championships. You're playing to be on the top. So, you know, my trip to Europe was what I wanted, and I got everything I wanted, which was, you know, fighting for a relegation, playing at the international level, playing against some of the biggest countries in the world, World Cup qualifiers, having a lot of success there, playing for a big club like Spartak. You know, I always say it could have been a lot worse. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, you didn't get to play in England. You didn't get to play in Germany." Yeah, I didn't get to play in England, and Germany, but you know, this was my fate, and this was how it was supposed to be. And I don't feel sorry for anything. You know, I feel proud of everything I did, and hopefully my son can do what I did do if he plays.
What this question starts off strong, but doesn't finish very strong. Who's winning the Super Bowl? Seattle or the Packers? Austin,
sorry, buddy. I'm not a big football fan. I don't follow football, but I know Seattle's not there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fortunate for me.
If you thought they were there.
Atlanta and New England. Who you got?
Atlanta, New England. Definitely New England.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, just the story behind Belichick and Tom Brady. That's enough to have the best football team. And I know my friend back in Russia, Krasnodar, his name is Aram, and he's the head of the academy, and he's like a sports director, technical director at Krasnodar. He's a big New England fan.
Really?
He has not missed one New England game, Patriots game, in 20 years or 15 years. So I know he's pretty pumped about this, but definitely New England.
You know, someone else has a New England Patriots championship ring that didn't play for the team.
No way.
Have you heard about Putin having a championship ring? It's a really funny story.
I'm sure Putin has a lot of championship rings.
Right.
Different sports.
So the owner of the Patriots let him wear his ring.
No way.
And he kept it and never gave it back to him.
I bet it's going to be difficult for Kraft to get it back.
Yes. Where's your favorite place to eat in Utah?
My favorite place to eat. I'm a big fan of Cafe Rio, hands down.
Really?
I'm sorry.
I like it too, but there's a lot of options.
You can take whatever you want. I'm a big Cafe Rio fan. Whatever, yeah. You know. Good places to eat in Utah. Well, I live in Draper, and I like that Mediterranean Spitz.
Yeah, Spitz is all right.
You know, that's more of my neck of the woods, you know.
Yeah.
Eastern Europe.
And on a special occasion, Takashi's fine.
Yeah, obviously, Takashi's the best sushi in town.
Yeah.
And, you know, Tony's in-laws.
Yeah.
Tony's father-in-laws probably wanted to.
This isn't a question on here, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What kind of advice do you have for Tony now that he's about to enter fatherhood?
I always joke with Tony. I don't know if I should say it in the air. Tony's the guy I always wish to be as an athlete. You know, because he's just perfect, man. Anything he does is perfect.
Yeah.
He's smart, you know, like anything he does is perfect.
You know, Bobby and I were talking about this earlier.
I grew up in Tony's house.
He's really ruined it for everyone.
I know.
You know? He's the nicest guy.
He's definitely ruined it for me.
Right?
You know, when I look at Tony and when, you know, the guy is...
The standards are just too high. That's what we're driving.
I can't even see his standards.
Right.
That's how high Tony's is. And I always say, you know, he's the guy I wish to be. Tony's going to be the best father in the world. You know, I just pray for them to have a healthy kid first and foremost. You know, I love Tony. I grew up in his house. Most of you guys probably know the story, but Tony is he's a special person to me and my family. You know, and Tony's parents, sister, they're just, to me, they're family. And I think Tony's going to be an amazing dad. He's going to be the most caring dad in the world. And I'll tell you what, Tony's kid is going to be the healthiest kid in the world.
Right?
Definitely, by far. He is definitely going to be the healthiest kid in the world. He's going to eat organic everything.
Yeah.
He's going to eat organic sushi, too.
I believe it. I believe
He's
it.
going to make that happen.
Yeah. How much more time we got, Tyler?
We got
3 more questions? We'll go as long as you want to go.
Let's
go.
All
right.
I'm on a roll.
How many are you going to score tomorrow against San Jose? This is a good opportunity to remind you guys. 11 o'clock tomorrow morning on RSL.com. You can watch Real Salt Lake.
I'm not going to say how many. Why don't you watch? And Chris
Ford?
Yes.
Chris Ford.
Chris, I hope you guys get to watch it. And it's early preseason. You know, we're only doing half. You know, playing half the game, but.
I think maybe the better question is how many goals is Chad Barrett going to score against his old team?
I hope he scores a lot. I hope he gets a hat trick.
Yeah.
You know, Chad's an amazing person, and you know he's a hard-working player. And come on, man. He's one of the top 10 most goals current players.
Yeah,
like,
number
how
7.
Can you not respect the guy? He has the numbers to prove.
Yep. Do you have a game day ritual?
I have to take a nap. Excuse me. I have to take a nap before a game. I have to have. I usually have like a.
Does an 11 o'clock kick? I mean, it's preseason, but
yeah.
Does that kind of mess up that routine a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Mm-hmm.
And coaches know. Yeah, but hey, this is for us more of getting fitness. It's actually great. It's either you gotta have like a 11, 12 o'clock game or a 6, 7, 8 o'clock game. Because that way, either you wake up, you go straight to the game, or you have the whole day. You get to take a nap, and then you go in the evening. Where we have 2 o'clock games, I don't know what to do. Like I don't know what time to wake up to go to game. I don't know what time to eat, whether to eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner before game. Like it messes me up. But I think the biggest ritual I have is I have to nap before a game.
I'm gonna. Do you know what that?
Jan Barev, Mark Jan, Onces, Lava.
How about this one here? I don't know what that is.
Здрасте, Юра. Здрасте. Nestor, Gadila. Nestor, здрасте. Как дела? My Russian is sharp.
Sharp.
We got a lot of Armenians.
We got a lot, yes.
Yeah, man. A lot of love to my people. Hey, you remember coming to Pilibos? Yes, Pilibos is an Armenian school, and I went around to all the Armenian schools to see the students and stuff, which was amazing. You know, I get to see our next generation of smart kids, great athletes. You know, some of these kids are gonna become, some of the smartest people and hopefully athletes. And so, yeah, of course I remember.
I like this one, Kent. Got lots of handshakes to hand out this season. Any other goal celebrations planned?
Goal celebrations, yes. Handshakes. You know how they do? They have this thing going on with all the the coach does. Yeah, I don't have a rhythm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like my rhythm is off.
Yeah.
Should do a.
I had a really good friend of mine. I think I can tell this story.
I won't remember one if I do.
You know what I'm talking about? I had a really good friend of mine say that white people don't dance to the rhythm; they dance to the words. And my response to him was, "What rhythm?"
What's rhythm?
Yeah.
What's rhythm?
I felt good about that.
You catch it like.
Yeah, I mean,
I know you didn't have that in Seattle. It's okay. We'll teach you in
It's all right. Okay.
Let's see. Let's get some. Juan.
Yeah.
Juan Mundo.
I'll just let you take it. You can.
Yeah.
I don't need to moderate
Juan Mundo.
this. This is fine.
So Juan Mundo.
Yeah.
I played with him at Flyers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Flyers. Our coach was Rafael Moran. Juan, I actually saw him about 2 years ago, and I promised him a jersey. I saw him on Rodeo Drive.
Really?
And yeah, I know he's gonna probably laugh at this, but I promised him a jersey. I will send him a jersey. I asked him to send me his address to send him a jersey. So 2 years later, I'm going to send him a jersey. Maybe possibly 3 years.
Why don't we just tell him to come to the game in Irvine, and we'll bring him the jersey?
Come to Irvine. K-Dog's got a lot of jerseys to give out. I know he doesn't, but Juan, we're going to play. This is this guy, he had one of the best left feet. Like he was a center back, smaller kid. But great left foot. So Juan, big shout out to you, man.
Big
thank
ups.
you for big ups. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, my English is.
That's all right. We're getting there.
Third
We're
language.
getting there. That's all right.
It's okay, but doesn't find a way to deport any. Lance case. I hope the president doesn't deport. Lance, be honest. Were you thinking of the president deporting me? He can't deport me. No. Obviously, that's a sad story. Mm-hmm. What's going on with all the with politics, and Trump is upset right now, but
I think the cool thing that's come from that is you've seen a lot of unity from within different sectors of the country. I think that's been one of the coolest things that's come out of this.
But,
if you're gonna find silver linings,
I don't like getting into politics, but I believe that there was presidents before Trump that made these same comments, about immigrants, and they never made a big deal about this. And now, but just because it's Trump, they're making but obviously he can't do that. And then, I believe this country was built on the shoulders of immigrants. So to do that is very difficult. I think this country is for everybody, and that should be always that way. And if you have Americans, and I have a lot of respect for, and this is possibly, oh my God, dude, this is our assistant coach.
Wouldn't you know?
I just gave you a shout out for your singing, bro.
What's up, guys? Yeah.
Yeah, voice. I wouldn't say voice of an angel, but you. I just hate that you enjoyed it too much, man. I wanted you to get red. This guy walks around screaming.
Henry, come over here.
Henry, come here, man.
We need to introduce the fans.
Let's introduce Henry. Henry, you gotta. Yeah. This is Henry. Guy screams all day long, but got a lot of respect for him.
Should we let him in on our plan?
Our plan? Yeah. Let's. Should we? No.
We shouldn't tell him.
Which one?
The one about you outfitting me.
Oh,
but
so
he's gotta.
I'm gonna dress him for a week.
Yeah. But
I offered him.
But I got to do the workouts first before I can.
Hopefully I can get.
Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to wear anything. They don't make clothes like that for guys like me.
To get into my closet, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I played with Gira Flyers. See, one big ups to you, man, forward teammate.
That's right, big ups.
What's the specialty move now? But when I was younger. I don't remember what my specialty move now is. Now it's just getting to goal and scoring. I don't make moves and I don't do all this, technical stuff. Now I just want to get back, and be in front of goal, and score goals. Have you ever skied or snowboarded?
Yeah.
Ben, let me tell you this. I'm not gonna answer that question.
As your attorney, I advise you not to answer that question.
I could ski and snowboard, but I'll do that after I'm done with my contract. I hope Craig does not watch this.
Once his stylist career takes off, then he'll be skiing and snowboarding.
Steve Floor says, "Is Tyler running the stream? Such a hooligan."
He is a hooligan.
Tyler.
Steve Floor says you're a hooligan.
He is running our PR. Don't look at his height, but he is running it. Tyler, he's got to stand up for us to see him.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I had to. You know me. I'm honest. Hike, Armenian guy, Yerjan Yepes Galu. He's asking me when I'm going to go back. So I'm going to do it in Armenian. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything bad about you. Yepem Galu, Amsu Tasninits Xan Hinga Losumenk Linelu, Irvainom, Irekat Harenk Unanalu, Alashkerti Demenk Hagalu, Nensvor Huisovan Bolor Haire Sach, Gagan, Mesh Arachan Kamalnelevor, yes, Haikaganti Midemem Hagalu, Huisovan Bolor Gagan, Yev Lav Orsh, Lav Hach, Sutsadareng Bolores. Haikja. Yeah, I just told everybody to come out in Armenian. Selling a lot of tickets, man.
I know. That's what we like.
Going to play for your national team again? Arsen Kazarian asked me if I'm going to play for the national team again. Arsen, I've said this before. This is a subject I did an interview maybe a month ago. But national team is always going to be my national team. I'm always going to want to play for the national team. As it stands right now, I will not play for the national team right now because everything that's happened, with all the false accusations, that's not for me. And people that know me know that whatever that was said about me, it's not for me. Like, I couldn't have done anything that they said. But the most important thing for me, is that people know I'm always honest. People know that I'm never gonna play a role of somebody else to get to a place that I need to get to. I can't. I don't have two faces. I've always, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's been the biggest problem, that I can't be two-faced with people, and I can't pretend to be somebody else to get certain things. I've always been straightforward. So, and if that was the problem, then I'll take that, because I won't change it. I will never change, and I'm always going to support my national team. That's my country. That's my national team.
Right.
I've had a lot of success with. I know what it means to our people to play for the national team, but we live and learn, and we live in. Time will tell. Time will tell what's going to happen with the national team.
When you look out at that and you see the support of so much of the Armenian community, what's that mean to you?
That is a very emotional subject for me.
Right.
Because our nation, with the 1915 genocide, starting with the 1915 genocide, our nation's always been in the back end of the wars, and my country has been in war for 20-something years now with Azerbaijan, and the world seems to act like it doesn't exist. That war doesn't exist. People dying every day on the border, and which is sad, And then when you have people get happy at soccer, at athletes, or in the movie industry, it makes you feel proud to know that you can make people smile, at least not to think about certain things. So I think that's I feel very fortunate and passionate about it, because if I can make people smile and forget about the wars and the genocides and everything, then I'm a very fortunate person in this world, and I can make a difference.
There was recently a movie that was put out about the wars in Armenia.
Yeah.
How important is it to you that that kind of word gets spread, particularly in American culture?
It is extremely important, because us being the first Christians, Christianity was adopted to Armenians first in 301 AD, and that's one thing every Armenian knows and feels proud of. We're a small nation. Look, we're smaller than California, and for me, for any Armenian, it is very special to know that if you can make a difference, if you can let people know about your history, about your culture, we do it because we're very proud people.
Right.
And there is actually a movie coming out, and we were talking about this 2 days ago with the guys. So I believe it's coming out in April. It's called The Promise. Christian Bale.
Chris Cornell's on the soundtrack. I know that much. Your buddy is on the soundtrack.
Serge Tankian.
Yep.
So this movie is going to be a big hit, and I hope it goes to the Oscars. I literally hope that it wins something, because this will tell the story of the genocide. This will tell the truth. And I know it's political, but you know what? 1 million people died, and I don't care if people want to be political or not. People have to face that. People have to come to terms with it to not let it happen again. We know that it wasn't this generation that did it, but at the end of the day, if they come to terms with what happened back in the day, then genocides like that will never happen again. And this will save humanity. This will save further genocides that could possibly go on if this is not recognized. But again, this is the Armenian genocide is what we've been fighting for, and we will fight for our whole lives to get it recognized, because that was the first genocide in the 21st century. And a lot of people don't know about this. That being a one-sided war and having Armenians lose 1.5 million people, that's not war. It's called genocide, because a war is when you have losses from both sides, and that's not war. That's a genocide. That's just just like other genocides and the Holocaust. Why don't people just want to admit it and come to terms with it?
All right, you want to get back to some of the other questions? We got really serious there for a little stretch.
I know.
But I know that's an important topic to you, and I wanted to make sure that if we're gonna talk for an hour on Facebook Live, it would be a shame if we didn't hit that topic.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Vova Jan, I know Jan is part of his last name. Yura, when are you going to be in LA? Well, I'm going to be in LA from the 19th to the 25th
That sounds
February.
right,
Yeah, we're going to be in Irvine, training in Irvine. We're going to have a couple of games. We're going to play against Alashkert again. People come out, support. This would be a special moment for me to play against, or my club, to play against an Armenian team and to play against Armenian champs. So last year's champs. And before that, we've had, Shirak come out. Shirak is another club in Armenia, and one of the most successful clubs. And they've come out to LA and they've done a great job. They've played against the Galaxy a couple of times. So, and this is, I always want any team that can come out to America and play against MLS teams. I want the guys to see what the level is like here, which is awesome. Barev up. He says hello, Edo Chunemian. Who's your five most players? Okay, this is Yura. Who's your 5 most favorite players in the world right now? 5 most favorite players. Man, help me out. What are some of the players? I don't watch much soccer, guys.
You don't?
No.
You really don't?
No.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Play a lot. Play plenty.
You don't go home and search about the internet and about PR, right? You don't do that.
Wow.
Well,
no.
you do work, but
yeah.
So how do you expect me to go home and watch more soccer when I don't? 5 most favorite players. I would say.
How about your favorite players you've played against?
Favorite players I've played against. Definitely Pirlo. Played against him in Italy. Buffon. Martin Škrtel, Slovakia, and Albert knows. I actually heard Albert came to the game when I scored in Slovakia.
Yep.
So
that's what he says.
This is crazy. Excuse me. And I've played against Hulk in Russia, definitely. Who else? I would say Honda from Japan.
Yeah.
He's at Milan right now. There's many great players I've played against, and I might not even Daniel Agger from Denmark, and also the other center back, blonde guy, Kjaer, K-I-E-R, I think. Kjaer, he was in Wolfsburg for a long time.
Okay.
I've played against some of the best, and obviously the whole team of Italy.
Right.
Simple as that. I mean, look at everybody. Like that's the Juventus team right there. Balotelli, came in, and that was when Balotelli was on fire. I've played against some great players, and for me, Ronaldo. Let's not forget Ronaldo, Portugal. Pepe is probably one of my, favorite defenders in the world that I got to play against. Which was a dream come true for me to play against Portugal. So I've been fortunate enough to play against some of the world's best players, and it's the experience that I took with me. Not the results. Definitely not the results. Although I scored against Italy, not bragging about that, but we tied Italy away 2-2. So not that I'm bragging, guys.
You want to run through maybe 2 more?
Yeah.
Here, you pick 2 more out of that last little bit.
2 more.
Lauren thinks we're the best, so
we're definitely
Lauren,
the best.
Big ups.
Nestor, happy birthday to your son, Maverick. Happy birthday, Maverick. Wish you all the best.
And Jeff Kassar.
Yes. Wish you all the best, and just be safe. That's all that's the biggest thing I wish you. Be safe and enjoy your life. Hello from yeah. What my favorite thing to do in Salt Lake when I'm not playing soccer is hanging out with friends, hanging out with family and my kids, and I actually just bought a ATV 4-wheeler. It goes up to 60. And I have a plow on it for the snow right now.
The Kia Rondo also goes up to 60.
We can race.
Okay.
Yeah. I just need to buy a helmet to get on the
Shakes
street.
a little bit when it gets up to 55.
That is going to be my new favorite thing is go. Actually, yeah, hopefully the snow is gone and I can go and do hiking with ATV because I don't like walking, so I'll just be riding that. Let's do it. I remember there's a question here I remember signing the RB. I remember Toronto. He said if I remembered to sign his shirt. I actually do remember RB signing your shirt and your cousin's, man. Big ups?
Big ups.
Big ups, yeah. What do you think of a 48-team World Cup? This is a great question.
Right, that's
Evan.
a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's great for smaller countries.
Right.
Because we get to play in World Cups. But to be honest with you, I'm actually for it because at the end of the day, yeah, you might not have as much quality in the early rounds. But once you get to the knockout rounds, the big guys are going to stay.
They're still going to be there.
They're still going to be there. And you're still and plus you're going to have more games, so the guys will be more warmed up, you know, and rust will be off. And I think it's a great idea for smaller countries. Trust me, I've been fighting, you know, with my country to get in a World Cup. That is a player's ultimate dream, to play in a World Cup. And if you know, it can happen my time, which I don't think it's going to happen my time. But if I can see my son go and play in a World Cup, yeah, it'll be just the same way as I played. So I think I'm all for it because I represent a nation that is small. We're small, but we got big hearts. So I think Dustin said Yura doesn't like walking. I love it. Yeah, Dustin. And I don't like. I can run for hours.
Right.
I do not like walking. No. Some of the goals for this season that you personally want to accomplish. What are some of my goals for this season that I personally want to accomplish? Great question, Kevin. Well, my biggest goal is to stay healthy until the end. And my biggest goal is to have team success. To be healthy, to score as many goals as I can, but also to have a bunch of guys score goals. Not just 2-3 guys, you know, the usual 2-3 guys that we know we're going to score. But I want Aaron Mount to get 5 goals. I want Justin Glad to get 5. You know, I want Schuler to get, 5. I want DeMar, Tony. I want to see Tony score.
Right.
You know, I think I'll
That'd be a lot of built-up celebration material.
It'll be a very healthy celebration.
Right. A healthy celebration.
Yeah.
You're right.
If Tony scores. Yeah, like I think I'm going to get happier if Tony scores than if I scored.
I might run down to the field and celebrate if Tony scores.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't, please.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll stay where I'm supposed to be.
So yeah, it's for me. My goal is for the team have more success. Trust me, if the team has success, that means I had success. That means each player had success. And at this age, at this stage of my career, that's the only thing I care about is a ring. I want another ring. I want another couple rings before I retire. But hey, I'm not gonna
start with one.
I'm not gonna jump. Yeah, too far ahead. I want one more. And and everybody knows I came into preseason with that attitude. Is enough talking. Let's do the work and let's get out there and win games because we seem to talk a lot last year, which no excuses, man. No excuses. Simple as that. We got to be held accountable for the bad games, but also you guys have to let us know that we did good because it's not a one-way street, and we need your support. Trust me when. I get goosebumps talking about Rio Tinto, and I actually had to explain to Albert, and then we talked with Chad yesterday about what it feels like to play at the Rio Tinto, and I told him I never had to come to Rio Tinto to play against RSL, but it's the best feeling in the world when other teams come play at Rio Tinto because we know they don't have a chance. That's it, and he knows that too. So now he's on our side, which is great.
Hey, you did a great job tonight.
Thank you. I felt like I talked for an hour.
You did. An hour and 9 minutes, as a matter of fact.
I put a lot of thought into this Facebook Live, but thank you guys. Thanks for all the questions and all the support, and I know you guys, trust me, we appreciate your support, and Matt, you have been fantastic today.
Today was my day. I was on that.
I talked about people letting us know that we did a good job.
Right. Thank you.
You guys have been awesome.
Yeah.
Especially her flying the drone. I want the drone.
Right.
That thing makes a loud sound.
Isn't it great though?
Oh my God! I want to get a drone for my kids so I can film them from a different angle other than like this.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll have more kind of throughout preseason. When we get to Portland, we'll do some more. But Yura, thanks for coming by. Good luck. Good luck tomorrow. 11 o'clock kick against San Jose. Thanks again for tuning in. This has been Facebook Live, Beyond a Facebook Live.